I have journaled over 700 pages worth of trading notes from 4 years of trading. And in this video, I'm going to cover the most important lessons that you need to know to improve your trading and actually consistently start making profits in the markets. And I can't believe I'm actually giving this all away for free, but I want to help you guys out. I want to share this with you guys so you guys can absorb the 4 years worth of wisdom that I have gathered and basically use it to improve your trading as soon as possible. So let's get into it. Now, number one, and these are in no particular order, would be to zoom out, right? Start looking at trading from the larger perspective, from a larger timeline, rather than just on a week to week or day to day basis. Look at it from a month to month, a yearly basis. When you zoom out, you start to see trading in its most natural form, right? Because trading is not about winning every day or every week or even every month. When you zoom out and you actually look at it from the larger perspective, you start to understand that you don't need to win all the time. It's about winning in the long term, right? You might lose a couple trades this week, you might lose some more next week, but the week after and the week after that, you could win all your money back and more, right? So if you had just stopped trading or given up or felt discouraged, or you had started taking shit trades on your system because you thought that it wasn't working for the past 2 weeks, you didn't actually think long-term probabilistically and look at it from the long-term perspective of allowing the probabilities to play out, right? You can lose 1 month, right? You might not even take a winning trade the entire month, but then the next 3 months of the year could be absolutely insane and you make a shit ton of money, right? Or, you could lose like 3 trades today, but tomorrow you could win 2 and make all your money back. You have to start looking at trading from a larger perspective and zoom out rather than looking at it on a trade to trade basis. Because if you allowed one trade to affect your decision making of the next trade, all of a sudden you're going to be trading emotionally. You're going to be trading on the fact that you have lost trust and confidence in your setup because the last trade didn't win. Whereas if you just stick to the process and consistently turn up and do the same thing every single day that you already know works, then long term, when you zoom out, that is when it's going to start playing out in your favor. But if you start taking trades that you wouldn't typically take based on the outcome of the last 2 or 3 trades or the last 2-3 weeks, and you switch it all up because you don't think it's working anymore, that is where you are getting fucked up. You have to zoom out and look at it from the biggest perspective. Every time I take a loss, I say it's fine, right? I could even take 5 more losses and win it back in 3 trades, 3 winning trades, right? That is the way you have to look at it. If you take a loss and then all of a sudden you're feeling to get back in the market because you want to make that money back and you're forcing trades and you feel insecure, you feel a sense of inferiority because you took a loss, so you start trading emotionally, that is not the way to do it. The way to do it is to take trades, understand that there is a probabilistic outcome to each trade. It's going to win or it's going to lose. If it loses, understand that you might lose the next couple trades as well. But eventually, when you do start to win again, it's going to make back all of those losses and it's going to get you into profit as well. And long term, when you zoom out and look at it from that bigger perspective, that is how you are profitable. It's a long-term game. Never base your trading off day to day or by a trade by trade basis. Always look at it from the bigger picture, zoom out and understand and give yourself some breathing room, right? Because as soon as you start trading based on one loss or one win, that's when you get fucked up. You have to look at it from the bigger perspective. Point number 2 is to eliminate all expectations as much as you possibly can, because expectations are the bane of your trading existence, right? If you want to trade successfully, the best thing you can do is to remain at an emotional equilibrium. And to do that, you have to eliminate expectations, because if you are expecting to take a trade one day and a trade opportunity doesn't present itself, and then you force it because you wanted to take a trade, if you just expected not to take a trade that day, you wouldn't have felt the need to force it and force a trade out of the market because your expectations were in the right place. The same goes for when you're in a trade. If you are expecting the trade to win and it loses, that's going to cause you emotional pain because your expectations are out of whack with reality. Whereas if you expected to lose, or you simply had no expectations of all at all, you knew it could lose and you also knew it could win, but you decided to have no expectations to, I would say, expect to lose, because then when you do lose, you are completely at an emotional state where it's not different to what you had already envisioned, right? The pain comes when what your expectation is different from the actual reality of the situation. So if you are expecting to lose, right, and you do lose, cool, you're literally in a state where you're not going to be emotional, you're going to be at equilibrium. That's what the outcome you expected happened, right? And so you're not going to become emotional about that. And if anything, when the trade wins or when you get the winners, it feels much better because you expected to lose or you were neutral, right? And you ended up getting a winner. Still, yes, you're going to sway off the equilibrium. You're going to feel negative emotions from losers. You're going to feel great from winning. But if you can remain at that state of equilibrium as best as possible, just by lowering your expectations, never expecting to come into the market and take a trade, never expecting a trade to win, or never expecting a trade to have a particular outcome and just letting it be, right? Once you can do that, you essentially are detaching yourself from your trading. You're detaching your expectations from the market, and all of a sudden you're at such a calmer state of mind to be able to trade and not trade emotionally. And that's what it's all about. It's about remaining at that equilibrium. So, point number 2 is to just eliminate expectations from the market. If anything, expect the worst case scenario, because it's all about protecting your mental capital, your mental environment, and not swaying too far off that emotional equilibrium where you start making poor decisions. Point number 3 is stop thinking about the money and start thinking about what you can take away and what you can learn from and improve on your trading, and not the money. As soon as you stop thinking about the money, that's as soon as you're going to start making improvements. Rather than taking a loss and being devastated that you lost, say 1%, say like $1,000, if you just look at that loss as a lesson, then you can actually find something tangible to take away from that loss. Whether it was simply some error in your execution, whether it was simply just your strategy playing out in its probabilities and just being wrong, which happens sometimes, whether you could have been in a better frame of mind, whether you rushed your entry, whatever it is, don't think about the money side of things. Think about how you can take a lesson away from the trade. And that way, every single time you take a trade, you're going to improve that 1%. And over a series of 30, 40, 50 trades, that 1% is going to compound and you're going to get 100% better at trading if you just take a lesson from every loss, even every win, or anything that you can possibly take a lesson from. Try to learn and absorb and improve as much as you can rather than focusing on the money. If you're focused on the money, that is a surefire way that you are not going to make it in trading. As soon as you are detached from the money side of things, that is when you're going to see the most progress, because you're going to try to learn from your mistakes. You're going to try and repeat your winners. But when you think about the money, that is all you think about. And it drives you emotionally insane if you think about the money. And like we talked before, you want to remain at an emotional equilibrium as best you can. So lesson number 3 is detach yourself from the money. Ignore the money. Forget about the money side of things. Just focus on trying to take a lesson from every single trade. Point number 4 is that if you miss a trade, it's completely fine, right? There will always be plenty of other opportunities in the market for you to take advantage of. Every day, every week, there will always be another opportunity. So if you miss a trade, don't feel like you missed an opportunity to make money, to make progress, or whatever it is. Just understand fundamentally that if you miss a trade, there will always be another trade tomorrow, the day after. You just have to be patient and not try to force a trade because you simply missed one. Trades are like buses, right? You miss one, there will always be another one in 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And in terms of trading, it might be it might be like an hour or two when you can wait for another trade, or it might be a day or two. Whatever it is, there will always be another trade coming. So if you miss one, the best thing to do is to just say, you know what, I'm done for the day. I'm just going to take a break. I'm going to take a breather. I'm going to journal. I'm going to make sure that I don't force myself back into the market because of FOMO, because of fear of missing out of the trade, and just understand fundamentally that another opportunity will come probably this week as well, if it's early in the week or whatever, or early next week. Just be patient, just relax, and allow the trades to come to you. So point number 4 is there will always be more opportunities to trade if you miss one. So don't allow that to knock you out of your emotional state of equilibrium. Just take a break, take a breather, take a step back, and then come back even stronger the next day. And point number 5 is just focus on trying to be the best trader you possibly can be and make the best decisions possible to ensure that your trading is the highest quality. You're taking the highest quality setups, you're making the highest quality decisions, you're being super patient. The goal is to be the best trader possible, be a professional, profitable trader, act how they act. The best of the best traders don't focus on the money, they focus on just being the best they can be, turning up at their best every day and executing with intention and executing with precision. And the way they do this is by just not thinking about the outcome of the trades. Like we said, detach yourself from expectations. Just don't even think about the outcome of the trade. Just focus on turning up at your best every day, taking the best possible trades, the best possible highest quality setups, making the best decisions, tracking, journaling, reviewing, practicing, studying, and just trying to improve as best you can. And over the weeks, over the months, as you iterate your trading and your decision making and your A+ setups and you refine the whole system, eventually you will start to make that profit that you so desire. But if you only focus on the money, you're never going to improve because that is all you care about. And you'll just stay in the same position over and over again, making the same mistakes. So make your priority turning up and being the best possible trader you can be every single day, rather than trying to make any money. So that means making the best decisions, waiting super patiently for a trade to come to you and not to try and force a trade on the market. Just think of yourself like a fisherman, which is an analogy I heard recently. You just sit there and you wait patiently for a fish to bite the bait. You don't chuck out your line and then reel it back in and then chuck it out again and then reel it back in and then chuck it out again and then reel it back in simply because you're not getting any fish. You chuck it out there and you leave it and you wait there, sit there patiently until you get a big bite. And then that is when you jump into action, right? So it's the same with trading. You wait patiently. You wait super, super patiently until a clear, obvious opportunity arises in the market. Like when a big fish pulls on the rod, you know it's obvious, it's clear, it's there. The fisherman doesn't just flinch at every single little movement of the rod in the water, right? When it's obvious, it's obvious. And that is what you have to wait for when you're trading. You wait patiently every day. You just focus on being the best you can and executing when it's obvious. So yeah, point number 5 is just focus on being the best possible trader you can be and not focusing on the outcome of the trades. Just focus on turning up, doing your best every single day and trying to improve every single day. And eventually you will get that big break. Over time, that big break will come and the profitability that you desire will eventually turn up and you will start living how you always dreamed that you would live when you started trading. But you have to focus on improvement and not on the money. If you found anything useful in that video, guys, please hit the subscribe button. It means a ton. Join the Telegram below. That is where the OGs are at. We're nearly at 100 members. So if you want to be an OG member, go and join the Telegram. And thank you very, very much for 1,000 subscribers. We are on the journey to 10K. Then we're on the journey to 100K, 250K, 500K, and beyond. So if you want to join us on that journey and be one of the OG subscribers, hit the subscribe button right now. I appreciate you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.